be the deposition of Paul Reed, taking the case of Jordan against Evans Delivery Company et al., taken pursuant to notice for all purposes permitted by the federal rules, including use at trial, and taken pursuant to the federal rules. I have marked as Exhibit A a copy of the notice of deposition. I'm going to share that now so everybody can see it. This is a good way also to test the screen share. Can you all see that NOD?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good deal. And it doesn't have an A on it. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope. All right, well, we'll just call it A. All right. That's the extent of my read on, Mr. Treese. Unless there's something you need to add, we can go ahead and ask Ms. Neerman to swear in Mr. Reed.
Yeah, no, I'd go ahead and note that although you've stated that the deposition is being taken for use at trial, we're not stipulating to that use at this time. Certainly, if you can make a showing of admissibility at trial, or we can take it up then. Also, I propose that we agree to reserve objections.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let me try this. Is this better?
Much better. Well,
Yeah.
Now there's a little feedback, but give it a shot.
All right. Okay. So I'm trying to cup the mic on my end. So I noted that you stated the deposition was being taken for use at trial, and certainly there may be circumstances under which you could make a showing of admissibility, but I'm not stipulating to that admissibility at this time for use at trial. Second, I wanted to propose that we go ahead and, as is the custom, reserve objection except as to form and responsiveness until the first time the testimony is offered into evidence.
No, let's take it pursuant to the rules.
We'll do that then.
Okay, thanks. Ms. Neerman, would you please swear in Mr. Reed?
Okay. First thing I'm going to do before I swear in the witness is I do need to read an agreement. I'm going to ask counsel to agree on the record that under the current national emergency, pursuant to Section 319 of the Public Health Service Act, there's no objection to the court reporter administering a binding oath to the witness remotely. If you would, state your agreement on the record, please.
Jeb Butler, on behalf of plaintiff, no objection.
Andy Treese, on behalf of the defendants, no objection.
Okay. And Mr. Reed, if you would, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth in this matter pending before us on the 30th of September, 2020?
Yes.
Okay, the witness is sworn.
All right, state your name for the record, please, sir.
Paul Glenn Reed?
Have you ever given a deposition before, Mr. Reed?
No.
Ever testified in court before?
No.
I suspect that Mr. Treese has got you well prepared for what a deposition is, but I usually will say it's not a complicated thing. It's just questions and answers. I'll ask a bunch of questions, and you'll, we hope, give a lot of answers, and we'll try to be done as fast as we can. If it's any consolation to you, I normally don't take very long depositions, at least by the standards of my profession.
Okay.
If I ask a question that you don't understand, just let me know and I'll try and rephrase it. If at any time you need to take a break, like you got to go to the bathroom or something like that, let us know and we'll take one.
Okay.
Make sense? How long have you had a commercial driver's license?
27 years.
Have you been driving a truck that whole time?
Yes.
How long have you been driving 18-wheelers specifically?
That whole time. 27 years.
How long have you been working with Evans Delivery Company or Allegiant?
The end of July was a year.
Okay, so you started driving with Evans Delivery Company or Allegiant in
The last week of July of last year.
All right. We have a court reporter, Ms. Neerman, who's taking down everything we say. So if you will, let me get out the question before you answer it. The way you just did is perfectly normal in the way people usually talk. We have to be a little more formal here so we can get a clean record. Let me try it again. Did you start driving with Evans Delivery Company or Allegiant in July of 2019?
Yes.
Thanks. And who did you drive for? When you tell somebody who you drive for, do you normally say Evans Delivery Company or Allegiant?
I drive for Allegiance now, and I started, like I said, I started within the end of July.
Okay. Is Allegiant, as far as you understand it, a brand of Evans Delivery Company?
They're an agent.
So in your understanding, Allegiant is an agent of Evans Delivery Company?
Yes.
Who did you drive for before Allegiant?
Mercury Transport.
How long did you drive for Mercury?
I think about a year.
And why did you move from Mercury to Allegiant?
Prior to them, Hub Group.
Say that again.
Hub Group.
Oh, no, why did you move from?
From Mercury to yeah.
Yeah.
For work purpose. That wasn't working me enough.
All right. And then who was it before? You said Hub Group was the entity you drove for before Mercury?
Yes.
And why did you leave Mercury and go to, well, excuse me, I messed up that. Why did you leave Hub Group and go to Mercury?
They were weeding out their owner operators.
How long did you drive for Hub Group?
10 years.
Right. Do you still drive with Allegiant and Evans Delivery Company today?
Yes.
Tell me what happened in this collision.
I was in a turn lane in front of my house. I always wait for the traffic to pass where there's no traffic on either end. And when I set up to back in, I started backing in, and Mr. Jordan came over the hill, and he was moving pretty fast, and I didn't have enough time to move to get out of his way before he hit.
All right. So I guess before you started, you were backing your truck into your driveway, right?
Yes.
And before you started backing, I think you said you stopped in that sort of center turn lane.
Yeah.
And I think you said Mr. Jordan came over the hill, right?
Yeah, after I had set up to back up, because I make sure there's no traffic coming either way before I set up to back up into my driveway.
I think you said that Mr. Jordan was going fast.
Yeah.
How do you know that? How did you judge his
Huh?
speed? How did you judge his speed?
Just from the way as fast as the truck was moving.
In other words, you were just looking at, this sounds like a silly question, but you didn't have like a radar detector
No.
or stopwatch or anything like
No.
that? Okay. What direction were you going on Temple Avenue before you stopped in the center turn lane?
I think consider it southbound.
Gotcha. So walk me through the process of like exactly what you did from the moment you stopped in the center turn lane until the collision happened.
I stop in the middle of the turn lane, and I wait till there's no traffic coming either way before I veer over toward my curve in front of my house and set up to back up. So that's the quickest possible way to back in.
So did you stop in the center turn lane and then back up some, pull forward and start to back again?
No, I pull full forward and move over to the left curve and set up to back in to where my trailer is straight with my driveway. And then I back in and back straight in.
You said move over to the left curve?
The left curve is right in front of my house.
So for a time then your truck is actually in the southbound lanes?
In the northbound lane, yes.
I'm sorry. So before you started backing up, you were coming south and on the southbound lanes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
You said, but in a deposition like this, Ms. Neerman doesn't know what to write when you say that. So I have to come back and you say, yes, it's no problem.
Yes.
But anyway, and then you stop in the center turn lane, right?
Yes,
And then you moved your truck into the northbound lanes next to the curb next to your house.
yes,
And then you started backing sort of almost in a circle so you get the trailer
no,
to go in your driveway.
no.
Okay, tell me what.
I move over to my curb, to the curb in front of my house,
Yeah,
and turn my truck to the right to set my trailer up where my trailer is lined up straight with my driveway.
okay. Let's see if what we can do with some pictures. This might help us a little bit. I'm going to show you what I've marked as Plans Exhibit 14. Can you see that on the screen in front of you?
Yes,
All right. So in Plans Exhibit 14, it looks like it's a sort of Google Earth overview of the end of your driveway and Temple Avenue, right?
yes,
And so before you stopped and started to back in, you were heading southbound in the direction of the arrow I've just drawn. Is that right?
yes,
All right. And then when you stop in the center lane, we're talking about this lane here, correct?
yes.
So tell me where the nose of your truck is when you stop. I guess the easy way to do this.
Right in there, right where the circle is.
All right. So the nose of your truck is here, and you're basically.
Roughly, yeah. There, or maybe sometimes a little bit further back.
All right. Let me move it back a little bit. So like somewhere in here.
Yeah,
All right. And we'll clean this up for our record now. So, Mr. Reed, is it correct to say that before you started the process of backing your driveway, you were heading south as indicated by the arrow drawn on Plans Exhibit 14?
yeah,
Is it fair to say that when you stopped your truck before starting the process of backing in, you stopped it approximately where that red mark is in the center lane in Plans Exhibit 14?
yes,
All right, thank you. And we'll save this so we can have it later. Good. Okay. Do you see Plans Exhibit 15 on the screen in front of you now?
yeah,
This is the same picture we were just working with, right?
yes,
All right. And you told me that you move your truck forward into the northbound lanes sort of next to the curb in front of your house. Did I get that right?
yes.
Tell me, I'll sort of move the circle and you tell me when to stop, and I'll ask you to let me know when I should start drawing to mark where your truck was stopped by that curb.
Right there?
Right here?
No,
No?
no.
Tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay, let me try. I pulled over against the curb, toward the curb in front of my driveway. Once I get my truck in front of my driveway, I turn to the right toward the center lane again to line up my trailer with my driveway.
Let me see if let me let you draw. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. I have figured it out before. All right. Now, let's give this a try. I think, Mr. Reed, that you're going to be able to control the screen now. Have you got a mouse you can use to draw?
How do I do that?
Yeah, he does. Hang on a second. I'm going to step in.
Thanks.
Okay, that was me. If we can, let's see, just erase that, I guess.
There you go. Perfect.
So Paul, to draw.
Hold down the left button while you move the mouse.
Okay.
And thank you so much. What I'm asking, Mr. Reed, is for you to draw the point where you stopped sort of next to the curb next to your house before starting to back up.
Well, it don't actually stop. It's all one move. See, I move over this way toward
Uh-huh.
my curb, and then I turn out this way to line my trailer up,
I got
and
you.
I back straight in.
I got you. Okay. Let me take I'm glad you drew because I wasn't getting it. Let me take back control of the screen. And all right, I think I've got it now. So I've drawn a little arrow to give us direction. And my question is now, does that curved line and arrow that's in Plaintiff's Exhibit 15 show how you pulled your truck toward the curb and then away from the curb in order to prepare it for backing up into your driveway?
Yes.
All right, thanks. I'll save that. All right, we'll have to save that. Okay. Okay, so after you do the maneuver described in Plaintiff's Exhibit 15, then you start backing straight up into your driveway. Is that
Yes.
fair? On the on October 1, 2019, were you just backing in when the collision happened, or had you had to stop, pull forward, and back again?
No, I was in the process of backing in.
All right. How much time do you think passed between when you stopped your truck in the center lane and until the collision occurred?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Do you think more or less than a minute?
More or less than a minute? Yeah, possibly.
Okay. Neighborhood of a minute?
You're right around it.
Okay. Let me check my list of stuff I'm supposed to ask you about. I think we've answered. So when did you first see Mr. Jordan coming toward you?
After I started backing in, I saw his lights come over the hill down the road.
About how far away was Mr. Jordan when you saw him?
I don't know how far it is.
Did you see him as soon as he popped over what you described as the hill?
Yeah, there's a small hill down there that I saw him come over the hill after I started backing up.
Okay. But in other words, did you see him as soon as he came over what you're describing as a hill, or had he already been over it a little bit before you saw him?
No, he had just come over the hill. I saw the lights.
I guess before he came over that hill, you couldn't see him and he couldn't see you, right?
Well, there's a curve further down that you can see when cars come around, and I didn't see him come around that curve.
Okay. But anyway, before he popped over the hill, you couldn't see him and he couldn't see you. Is that fair?
Yeah, fair.
What did you do when you saw Mr. Jordan?
Repeat that.
What did you do when you saw Mr. Jordan?
Well, when I saw he wasn't slowing down, I leaned out my window and waving my arms and hollering. And I guess when he finally heard me holler, he slammed on his brakes.
Do most people slow down if they come over that hill while you're backing in?
Objection form lacks foundation.
I've only had a few cars come up that way, and they have slowed down to stop.
Okay. About how many cars do you think have come up that way while you were backing in?
A couple.
Was that during the day or at night or some of each?
Most of the time it's in the daytime.
Had it ever happened at night before that someone came up while you were backing in?
Yes.
How many times do you think that happened? Someone had come up at night while you were backing in?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Like neighborhood of 2 or 10 or 20 or 100?
Maybe 2 or 3, maybe.
You didn't like flash your headlights or anything on the night of October?
Yeah, I flashed my headlights and was waving my arms out the window and hollering because he wasn't slowing down. So I had my window down because I always have my window down when I back in. And I was waving my arms and hollering. And I guess that's when he finally heard me or saw me that way, he slammed on his brakes.
All right. You weren't flashing your headlights, were you?
Yeah, I tried flashing. I flashed my headlight. I had my flashers on and everything.
You're talking about the flashers, like the yellow lights or the white headlights?
Well, I have the flashers on when I back in, and I flashed my headlights.
At the moment of the collision, do you agree that your trailer was at an angle with the roadway?
At angle?
Yeah, like at the moment of the collision, your trailer was not like perfectly perpendicular with the road. It was
No, it wasn't straight across.
It was at an angle, right?
At an angle.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm going to show you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 1. Can you see that on the screen ahead of you?
Yes.
Does that look like a reasonably accurate illustration of where the vehicles were when they collided?
Yes.
Your truck was across both northbound lanes and the center lane, right?
Yes.
Your truck was also sort of blocking the shoulder of the road from northbound traffic, right?
Yes.
And your truck was blocking not all of, but part of the left southbound lane. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. Did you have a spotter or a flagger out there as you were backing in?
No.
We talked a little bit about the time from the moment you stopped in the center lane until the time of this collision. This is a little bit different question. How long did it typically take you from the time well, let me strike that and ask again. When you backed your truck and trailer in, were you normally coming southbound to your house?
Yes.
All right. So how long did it typically take you from the time you stopped your truck until you were fully backed into your driveway?
I don't know. I've never timed it.
It'd have to be more than a minute though, right?
Huh?
It'd have to be a little more than a minute though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it might take a minute or so to set up to back up, but then I guess 2 or 3 minutes, couple minutes to back in.
Okay. Couple minutes.
Usually when I'm set up, I can back straight in with no other maneuvers.
Okay. So we're talking about a couple minutes from the time you stop your truck until your truck is fully backed into your driveway.
Roughly, yeah.
All right. How often did you park your truck in your driveway from the time you started working for Allegiant Evans until the date of this collision?
I've been parking my truck and trailer there for probably close to 2 years.
Close to 2 years, you said?
Yeah.
Is that where you park, I guess, every night that you're home?
Yeah.
And I don't really know your schedule all that well. I know you can't give me an exact answer, but like, how many times per week do you think you're coming home from a trip and parking your truck in that way?
Oh, every night. I'm home every night.
All right. You drive 5, 6, 7 days a week?
Usually 6.
Okay. So it'd be about 6 nights a week that you're parking your truck by backing into your driveway during this period. Is that fair?
Yes.
how often were you coming home after dark?
Every once in a while. Not, it wasn't, most of the time it was during the day I'd come home. It's still
Okay.
daylight.
Once a week after dark, or twice, or once every 2 weeks?
It may be once or twice a week, one week and none the next.
Okay. What would you say, a handful of times per month?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Of the times you parked at your house, how often was it with the trailer and how often without a trailer?
Almost every night with a trailer.
Okay. If we can set up a way to do it safely, would you be willing to back your truck and trailer into your driveway on video so we can see that process?
Objection to form of the question. As far as whether or not we'll do a demonstration, we could take that up separately.
My question is whether Mr. Reed would mind doing that. Are you instructed or not to answer?
Now you can answer the question.
I could.
All right, thank you. As Mr. Tree said, we'll take that up later. Let's see. Did you ever like try to hide from Evans Delivery Company where it was that you were parking your truck and trailer?
No,
Did they know where you were parking?
they never asked.
Okay.
They never said whether we could or not.
If Evans Delivery Company had ever asked you where you were parking your truck, what would you have told them?
I would have told them.
At any point before this collision, did they ever give you any guidance at all about where to park your truck?
No,
At any point before this collision, did they ever give you any other options for places to park your truck?
well, we have a drop yard in Fairburn.
Okay. Did anyone from Evans Delivery Company before this collision ever call you and say, hey, you can use the drop yard in Fairburn if you want to?
Yeah, they said we could. Yeah,
Okay. Did they ever actively encourage you to use that drop yard in Fairburn?
no,
If they had told you to use the drop yard in Fairburn, would you have done that?
yes,
Did Evans Delivery Company or Allegiant know that you sometimes parked with a trailer attached to your truck?
yes.
Had you told them that, or was that like evident from your logs? Or
Just, I think the agent one time we had talked about it, I told my department truck, the trailer next to my house.
you told the agent you parked your truck and trailer next to your house?
Yeah, I mentioned it once before.
All right. About when was that conversation with your agent?
Oh, I don't know. Not long after I started, I guess.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I guess not long after I started there,
So anyway, sometime like in the summer of 2019,
somewhere in there, I guess. Yeah.
well before this collision, right?
Oh, yeah.
When you say your agent, who are you talking about?
Repeat that?
You were talking about a conversation you had with your agent, and I'm asking who your agent is.
Well, the Patrick Gallagher, he runs Allegiant.
All right. So when you say agent, you're referring to Patrick Gallagher, and he works for Allegiant, right?
Yeah, he's the boss of that. Yeah.
Do you know what his formal title is?
I just know he runs the agent. He runs that. He runs Allegiant.
Was he your like immediate supervisor?
Yes.
Oh, let's see if I have a good picture to show you. Yeah. I will show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 10. Can you see that in front of you?
Yes.
We see on Plaintiff's Exhibit 10 is an overview of your house, right?
Yes.
And we see these black marks on the driveway and on the road. That's obviously from you parking the truck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thanks. And then fair to say that if you're parking your truck in your driveway or here next to your house under that tree in Plaintiff's Exhibit 10, the only way to do it is to either back in or back out, correct?
Yes.
Did there ever come a time where Evans or Allegiant asked you to stop parking trucks or trailers at your house?
Yes.
When was that?
After the accident.
About when?
A few months ago, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to show you a whole bunch of pictures and one video. And then in order to save time, I will try to then ask you questions about all of them. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Do you see Plaintiff's Exhibit 20 on the screen ahead of you?
Yes.
Do you now see Plaintiff's Exhibit 21?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 23?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 24?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 25?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 26?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 27?
Yes.
Do you now see Exhibit 28?
Yes.
And do you now see Exhibit 29?
Yes.
I will now ask you, I'm going to show you a video that's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 22. I've got to redo the share for you to see this. Can you see the video screen in front of you?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this video that's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 22. Were you able to see that video?
Yes.
Did Plaintiff's Exhibits 20 through 29, that's the video and the photos that we just looked at, appear to be true and accurate photos of your truck, house, and trailer?
Yes.
Any reason to dispute that those were all taken after this collision occurred?
Yes.
I mean, let me try to fix that question. If I were to tell you that all those videos and pictures and Plaintiff's Exhibits 20 through 29 were taken after this collision occurred, would you have any reason to disagree?
No.
All right, thanks. I will show you now what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit number 30. Do you see that on the screen ahead of you?
Yes.
That looks like a letter, and it has Butler Law Firm at the top, right?
Yes.
Have you ever seen that before?
Yes.
Okay, when?
Yes, that's when Evans called me and was talking to me about backing trailers at my house.
Okay. When Evans called you about this letter and talked about backing trailers into your house, was that the first time they had ever asked you, or strike that? When Evans Delivery Company called you about the letter that's marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 30, was that the first time they had ever asked you to stop parking trailers at your house?
Yes.
Okay. What specifically did they say when they called about that letter that was marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 30?
Well, he had asked me if I was still parking trailers at my house, and I hadn't done it all the time, but yeah, there's sometimes I had went to my house because I'd get low on hours or something like that. And then he asked me to start parking on the yard.
Parking on what yard?
The Fairburn yard.
Is the Fairburn yard owned by Allegiant?
No, they rent parking spaces.
Do you know, like, what the address in Fairburn is of that yard?
No, it's on Graham Road. It's I think the name of the company is parkmytruck.com, I think it is.
Let's see if we can find it. I'm going to show you my screen while we play on Google and look for this. What did you say it was called?
I think it's parkmytruck.com.
Parkmytruck.com in Fairburn.
Yeah, they got a bunch of yards all over the place. Yeah.
Look at that. Graham Road.
Parkmytruck.com, that's it.
All right, let's see what I got here. Okay, so does this little pin that showed on the screen in front of you, does that accurately show where the lot is?
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
It's your deposition, but if I could make a suggestion, if you go back a screen, I think Mr. Reed said out loud the name of a different website on your list of Google search results than the one you clicked on.
Okay, thanks.
Right there. That's storemytruck.com. That's them.
Okay. I think that's actually the same one.
Yeah.
Okay. My
It's
bad.
7200 Graham Road is what it says. They got 2 lots on that road there.
Okay. Anyway, it's on Graham Road, Graham.
Yeah, if you go back to the other side of Graham Road, pull the map up a little bit.
Like this?
Yeah. You see right here where it says Fayetteville Road and Graham Road's right across from it? And we're right there where the rail yard is.
Yeah.
You go up just a little bit up that Graham Road and that yard sits right there at the end of Stalwart Drive.
All right, great. So the yard where
Right there. That's where the yard is. Where
the yard.
They got 1 yard there, and then we've got another one that's up the other. It shows on the other part of the map.
Okay. Is the yard that you use to park your trailer or truck in Fairburn, Georgia, right near the intersection of Graham Road and Stalwart Drive?
Yes, it's right across where Stalwart Drive comes in.
All right. How far is that from your house?
30 minutes, roughly. Depends on traffic.
So what's your process for parking now?
I park my truck at home.
And do you drop your trailer
At the yard.
lot in Fairburn, at Graham and Stalwart?
Yeah.
When you're going to drive a load for Allegiant and Evans, how do you find out what loads you're going to be carrying and where to and where from?
They send us a text message.
Who's the
And we have something called e-rigs, which they put our loads in, our load information in, tells us where they're coming from and where they're going to.
Tell me the name of that again.
It's called e-rigs.
E-regs. Who sends the text message that tells you where you're going to, coming from?
Our dispatchers, or Patrick will, if he's the one sending the loads.
That'd be Patrick Gallagher.
Yeah.
All right. Do you get to decide what loads you're going to take and what ones you're not, or do you have to take the ones that they text to you?
Somewhat, yeah. They know where we run, and I pretty much run the same place every day now.
All right. So if they were to send you a text message and ask you to haul a certain load, would you be able to say no, I don't want to?
Yeah, you can.
All right. Let's see. Do you ever haul loads for anyone other than Allegiant or Evans?
No.
Would you be able to do that if you wanted to?
No.
I want to show you a couple of exhibits quickly here.
Deb, can we hang on for 1 second?
Yeah, in fact, I'm sort of to a point where it makes sense for me to pull some stuff down and put up some new exhibits so we can move faster. So why don't we take a quick break here, come back, say at 2:50.
Okay, I was actually just going to ask Andy. Andy, if you don't mind muting while Jeb and Mr. Reed are going back and forth. And then if you need to jump in and object, you can actually hit your space bar for that immediate getting onto the mic.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize I had left myself off mute. I should be able to do this by flipping this up, but let me know if it's an issue.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Jeb, do you still want to take a break?
Yeah, I can move faster if we do that. I'll see y'all at 2:50.
Thanks.
Ready to go?
We're back on the record.
All right, thanks. I want to speed through some documents with you, Mr. Reed. I'm showing you now what's been marked as Plans Exhibit 64. Do you see that?
Yes.
Does that appear to be a true and accurate copy, insofar as you can tell as I scan through it at least, of the agreement that you have with Evans Delivery Company?
Yes, looks like it.
All right. Got a bunch of exhibits here at the end. And at the top it says equipment and hauling agreement, right?
Yes.
We'll show you, can you see now what's marked as Plans Exhibit 65?
Yes.
What's that?
My pay statement.
They sometimes call it a settlement statement or a...
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah.
All right. You see Plans Exhibit 63 on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
This looks like some training materials given to you by Evans. Is that right?
Yes.
And it looks like Evans referred you to J.J. Keller for continued training. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's J.J. Keller?
That's who makes a lot of training material.
Are they known as a good and reliable, trustworthy source for training materials in the trucking industry?
Yeah, I would say so. They make all the log books and stuff like that when they did paper logs and all that.
Who had the right of way in this collision?
Possession of form vague calls for legal conclusion.
I would say, I guess oncoming traffic.
That would be Mr. Jordan, right?
Do what?
That would be Mr. Jordan, right?
Yes.
Because he's in the straight lane, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did another vehicle almost hit your tractor trailer after Mr. Jordan hit it?
No.
I thought that, let me tell you what I'm thinking about, and it may jog your recollection or may not. I thought while you were on the phone with 911, there was somebody else that almost hit either your truck or your trailer.
No, they went around the other lanes after the accident. They didn't stop or slow down. They just went around the other lanes.
All right. Was the car that, tell me what you remember about the car that you're talking about.
I was on the phone with 911. I was car come up and they went around the top side of the truck in the southbound lanes. They was going northbound.
So that car was the car that you saw while you were on the phone with 911 was originally northbound?
Yeah.
And they
Yeah,
swerved.
so the same travel lane as Mr. Jordan.
Okay. And that car, I guess, turned to its left and went around your truck.
Yes.
By using the southbound lanes.
Yes.
Didn't that car have to slam on its brakes?
No, they just went around.
Didn't the brakes and tires squeal as they tried to avoid your truck?
No, this was sound like they just went over there and went around.
Right. Do you agree that you said at the time that the cars couldn't see your truck?
What was that again?
Didn't you say on the 911 tape that the cars were having trouble seeing your truck?
Car having trouble seeing my truck, not that I know of.
Okay. Let's take a listen. And it could be I'm remembering it wrong. So let's see what it does. I'm going to play for you now what I'll represent to you is a part of the 911 recording of you calling 911. It's been marked as Plans Exhibit 66. And I'll have to ask you to tell me if you can hear it. Let me see how this works here. Okay. I will play it now.
All right, hold on 1 second for me.
Hold on, I got 911 for me.
All right, and you said the male is awake in the other car?
I can't believe these people. I think stuck in the light.
Can you tell me what your name is?
Paul Reed.
Were you able to hear that recording that was marked as Plans Exhibit 66?
Yes.
Did it sound like there were some squealing tires in there?
I didn't hear any.
Did you not hear a loud sort of screech in the middle there?
No, I didn't.
Let me try again. And I'm going to specifically play.
All right, and you said the male is awake in the other,
All right, I'm going to start the recording now at 6 seconds in. And my question is going to be whether you hear a loud screech. Here's Plans Exhibit 66 starting at 6 seconds.
So you said the male is awake in the other car?
And now I've paused it at 10 seconds. Did you hear the loud screech in there?
It didn't sound like tires to me.
What did it sound like to you?
Sounded like the phone line had a little bit bad connection or something. It didn't sound like screeching tires.
So it's your testimony that despite what we listened to in Plans Exhibit 66, there were no screeching tires while you were on the phone with 911.
Not that I remember, no.
Okay.
Hey, make sure to let him finish his question before you answer.
I think was that did you get it down clearly, Ms. Neerman?
Yes, I did.
Okay, thanks. Do you recall in Plans Exhibit 66 how you said the cars were apparently not able to see your truck?
I don't remember. I may have said it on the phone, but I know there was a car that went around and didn't even stop. They just went around. They didn't even see whether there was any cars coming the other way or not.
Did you tell the 911 operator that cars were having trouble seeing your truck?
Not that I remember.
All right. Tell me, that vehicle that went around your truck using the southbound lanes, was it as like a sedan or an SUV? What do you remember about it?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I just heard him go around.
What did you hear when he went around?
A passing car, just like the wind passing by.
Did you ever see the car at all?
No, because I was facing toward the accident when I was on 911.
Do you agree that at the time that other vehicle went around your truck using the southbound lanes, the tail lights of Mr. Jordan's truck were visible sticking out from underneath your trailer?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to show you another exhibit. And this one has been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 60. Can you see that? Are you able to see Plaintiff's Exhibit 60 on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
What are we looking at?
That is the yearly driver certification.
All right. And then it says your handwriting and your signature on it, right?
Yes.
And in this one, you listed the citations for improper stopping and improper backing, right?
Yes.
As to both, the date of conviction was October 1, 2019, correct?
Yes.
And these obviously refer to the collision we hear about today, right?
Repeat that.
These obviously relate to the collision we hear about today, correct?
Yes.
Now, we have this sort of, in the copy that Evans Delivery Company sent me, the words under driver certification aren't really legible. Do you see that?
Yes.
If we look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 61, I think what we have here is a more visible but blank version of the same document. Does that appear to be correct to you?
Yes.
And in Plaintiff's Exhibit 61, it says under driver certification, quote, I certify that the following is a true and complete list of traffic violations other than parking violations for which I have been convicted or forfeited bond or collateral during the past 12 months, end quote. Isn't that what it says?
Yes.
Do you agree that the language under the words driver certification in Plaintiff's Exhibit 60 is the same, even though we can't actually read it on Exhibit 60?
Yes.
I want to show you now what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 2. The first page of Plaintiff's Exhibit 2 shows the citation or ticket issued to you on October 1, 2019 for improper backing, right?
Yes.
And then the second page of Plaintiff's Exhibit 2 notes that you forfeited bond as to that citation, right?
Yes.
Do you agree that you did, in fact, forfeit bond as to the citation for improper backing?
Yes.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, or rather page 1 of Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, which is on the screen in front of you now, shows the citation you received for improper stopping on October 1, 2019, correct?
Yes.
The second page of Plaintiff's Exhibit 3 shows that you forfeited bond as to the citation for improper stopping, correct?
Yes.
Do you agree that you did, in fact, forfeit your bond as the citation for improper stopping?
Yes.
Are you aware that in Georgia, forfeiting bond is the same as admitting guilt?
Objection. The form calls for a legal conclusion. Subject to that, sir. Go ahead and answer.
No.
Do you agree that you did in fact commit improper backing and improper stopping on the night of October 1, 2019?
According to the citations, yes.
I mean, that's true, isn't it? Like you actually did commit improper backing and improper stopping, right?
Well, yeah, I was improper backing, but I didn't stop till after he hit my truck, till he hit my trailer.
Okay, so your testimony is that you did commit improper backing, but not improper stopping. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
What, if anything, do you think Mr. Jordan did wrong in connection with this collision?
What do I think he did wrong? I don't know.
Do you know of anything that Mr. Jordan did wrong in connection with this collision?
By not stopping and apparently not paying attention to the road.
Okay. So what I'm trying to do is get a list of everything, if anything, that you think Mr. Jordan did wrong in connection with this. So tell me what that is, if you will.
I don't know.
Okay. So I guess your testimony is you're unable to say what, if anything, Mr. Jordan did wrong.
I couldn't tell you what was in his mind when it happened.
Okay. What I'm driving at is it fair to say that as we sit here today, you're unable to say what, if anything, Mr. Jordan did wrong in connection with this collision?
The only thing is, not paying attention to the road ahead of him, I guess.
Did Mr. Jordan receive a citation in this collision that you know of?
No.
Do you think that he should have?
I don't know.
Okay. I want to show you once more. See if I still got it pulled up. Of course I do not. All right, we'll show you once more what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 10. You see Exhibit 10 in front of you?
Yes.
Do you agree that if you had chosen to do it, you could have pulled in front ways and parked across your yard until the morning?
Can you say that again?
Yes. If you'd chosen to do it, instead of backing into your driveway, you could have pulled your truck crossways across your yard until daylight came.
No.
Why not?
Because you can't park in the lane like that.
What I mean is like this. Isn't it true that you could have parked your truck across your yard like that, as that green, like that red line shows?
No. Because there's gas lines and water lines running my front yard.
Are those gas lines and water lines underground?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any basis for believing that parking your truck on top of them would have caused them to rupture?
Yes.
What's that basis?
What's that?
What is that basis?
Because it's a heavy truck.
Okay.
And on the side of my house, there are no water lines or nothing like that running underground.
All right. Apart from your concern that a water line or gas line would have broken, is there any reason you couldn't have parked your truck across your yard like the line that's shown in Plaintiff's Exhibit 10?
Nope. I would still had to back off the road to get that, to park it there.
Couldn't you have parked there if you were coming, if you turned around someplace and approached from in a northbound direction?
I guess, possible.
All right. Now I'm going to say, since I've now drawn Plaintiff's Exhibit 10, for the record, I'm going to save it as Plaintiff's Exhibit 10 A. And it'll now be a different exhibit than it was before because we used 10 in the previous deposition without that mark on it. So anyway, claims the document we're looking at, which I've just saved as exhibit 10A, is the document with that red line across it like we discussed. Is
Yes.
that right? Okay. Oh, I forgot there's something else I want to show you. Tom reminded me of this on a break. All right. You see, we're back to Google Maps. You see Google Maps ahead on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
All right. And now, whoop. We're looking at 331 Temple Avenue, which is your address, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now we have Street View, correct?
Yes.
So the screen now shows us looking south. That is the direction from which Mr. Jordan was coming, from the point of view of the road in front of your house, correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to make a picture of this for record purposes. And we're going to save that. It's going to be Plaintiff's Exhibit 99. We'll call it Street View looking south. All right. So that image is now saved. Can you tell us in this picture, where is the hill that you saw Mr. Jordan pop over?
Past the front of that car that's in that picture.
All right.
See where the curve comes around?
Yeah.
And when it goes, it dips down and it comes back up.
Have I now circled the crest of that hill that you were talking about in red?
No, I don't see anything.
Oh, I'm showing the wrong thing. That's the reason. Let me try again. All right. Do you now see the same picture with a red circle on it?
Yeah, it's a little bit further. Yeah. Look, where the top of that circle is, where the crest of the hill is.
All right. I tell you what, I'm going to try again. There we go. All right. So it's right.
See where the edge of that grass is right there on, right? No. Yeah, right in there. That's where the crest of that hill is. See where the grass is above it?
Yep.
That's where it dips down and comes back up.
All right. Let me continue with my artistic attempts here, as frustrating as it may be, painful as it may be to watch. Okay, you see the red arrow?
Yes.
Does that red arrow point to the top of the hill that you saw Mr. Jordan's lights come over?
Yes.
All right. Now let me go and save that. And that'll be the exhibit. Okay. From the time that you saw those lights appear until the time of the collision, approximately how long was it? Like how many seconds?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't timing it.
Yeah. Okay. Did you try to put your truck in forward gear and get out of the way?
If I would have pulled forward, he would hit the back of the trailer instead of the side.
Did you make that attempt?
No, I was in the middle of backing when I saw him coming.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a clear answer. Is it true to say that, well, let me just try again. Did you put your truck in forward and try to get out of the way?
No.
Do you agree that if you wanted to, you could have stopped your truck in the center lane and put out reflective triangles or even flares before backing in?
When I saw him coming?
No, sir, before you started to back in.
No,
Why not?
because I was in the process of backing in.
Isn't it true that you could have stopped your truck in the center lane before you started the process of positioning your truck to back it in and put out reflective triangles or even flares?
I did stop in the middle lane. I
Yep.
didn't go over to set up to back up till I didn't see anybody coming.
Yes, sir. My question was, isn't it true you could have, had you chosen to do it, put out reflective triangles or even flares while your truck was stopped in the center lane?
Yeah, you could have.
Isn't it true that you could have called a spotter or flagger to come out before you started backing your truck up?
I didn't have nobody to call.
Did you call your neighbors?
Do what?
Did you call your neighbors?
Did I call my neighbors? No.
Okay. Isn't it true that you could have, had you chosen to do it, parked your truck on a side street near your house instead of backing it across both northbound lanes?
No, you can't park in side streets
Why not?
because they're really narrow.
Isn't there a field, isn't there a fairly open space on that, on the south side of the road that heads east, just south of your house?
No, well, it's it's got some kind of tanks and stuff on it. You can't go in there. It's got a fence, a locked fence and all that.
Couldn't you have parked your truck like on the side of the road near there?
No,
Or not?
because like I said, the roads are narrow. There's ditches on the sides.
Okay. Isn't it true you could have parked your truck at the yard that we talked about in Fairburn?
Yeah,
Why did you not get out and put out reflective triangles or flares before positioning your truck to back in?
because there was nobody coming. That's why I set up whenever nobody comes, and then I back in.
Why did you not call for a flagger or spotter?
Because I didn't have anybody to call.
Let's see. Why did you not park in Fairburn?
Because I go home every night because my wife is handicapped. I have to take care of my wife every night. So I bring my trailers home with me to be home quicker to be able to take care of her.
You park in Fairburn now?
Yeah, I park my trailer in Fair. They got me running a different way now.
I want to ask you a little bit, like this is going to be a bunch of rapid change. I'm almost finished. There's going to be some rapid changes to subjects that hopefully wind up. Where are you trained to look when you see headlights coming at you at night?
Where am I? What?
When you're on when you're driving and there are headlights coming at you from the opposite direction at night, where are you trained to look?
What do you mean trained to look?
Aren't you trained as a professional driver to look down and right toward the fog line when there's opposing traffic approaching you at night with the headlights on?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to show you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 4. All right, let's see. Do you see exhibit 4 on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
What are we looking at?
My truck.
Okay. This is the gate receipt from Austell, Georgia on the night of the collision, right?
Okay.
Is that right to you? Is that what it looks like?
I don't know. I don't see it from the outside.
Okay. We'll talk about your truck, then I'll get back to what to ask about. One of the things we see on Plaintiff's Exhibit 4 are some true and accurate pictures of your truck, correct?
Yes,
At the top, it says intermodal gate receipt, out gate, October 1, 2019, 7:36 p.m., correct?
okay,
Do you see that?
yes,
All right. Were you coming from Austell on the night of this collision?
yes,
All right. Do you have any reason to disagree that this is in fact intermodal gate receipt?
yes,
It is an intermodal gate receipt, correct?
yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Do you see plaintiff's exhibit 5 on the screen in front of you?
Yes,
Do you agree this is have you watched the body camera footage from the officers who responded to this collision?
do what now?
Have you watched the body camera video footage from the officers who responded to this collision?
No, this is the first time I see this picture.
Oh, okay. I'll represent to you this is a still shot that I pulled out of some video. The question is plaintiff's exhibit 5, a true and accurate image or picture of the vehicles involved in this collision?
Yes,
All right. I want to show you next what's marked as plaintiff's exhibit 56. Can you see that?
yes.
Tell us what we're looking at.
Driver's manual for state of Georgia.
All right. And if we go to page 26, we see that, let me zoom in, the driver's manual says that large vehicles should use a flagger or spotter or a reliable person to help when they're backing up, correct?
Objection to the form, but I do think the exhibit speaks for itself. Go ahead.
Yes,
I want to show you now a video that's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit. It's going to take me a minute to set this up.
Backing can challenge.
All right. Do you see what looks like there's a guy in a red shirt and what looks
Yeah.
like a video on the screen ahead of us?
yes,
Okay. I'm going to play it. I'll represent to you that this is a snippet we pulled from a J.J. Keller instructional video.
Backing can challenge even the most experienced drivers. You have to deal with blind spots and obstructions. The good news is you can avoid accidents with patience and good judgment. Check your path, get assistance from a qualified spotter, apply the right steering technique for the situation, and take your time to back up safely every time.
Do you agree that J.J. Keller also recommends the use of a spotter or flagger?
yes.
All right, let's take a break. Call it 10 minutes. I'm going to go back through and make sure I didn't miss anything, but that's all or nearly all of the questions I've got.
Jeb, what was the, I'm sorry, what was the number of the exhibit of that video you just played?
81.
81?
Yes, sir.
So Jeb, I've got 325, call it 335.
Who?
I was going to say, I've got 325. You wanted a 10-minute break?
Yeah, let's take a 10-minute break. We'll be back.
Great.
The time is 3:25. We are off the record.
All right. I mean, we're 1 minute early. I'm ready if y'all are.
We're ready.
We're back on the record.
All right, thanks. I'll have a few more questions, Mr. Reed, but you're going to be out of here real soon. Mr. Reed, is it harder for another driver to see a trailer during the day or at night?
What's that?
Yeah, it sounds crazy because it's a very simple question, but is it harder for another driver to see a trailer during the day or at night?
at night.
I will show you what's been marked, what we've already gone over as Plans Exhibit 15. You see that in front of you?
Yes.
When you do a maneuver like the one shown in Plans Exhibit 15, doesn't that constitute a failure to maintain lane, the traffic offense?
Objection form calls for legal conclusion. Go ahead, sir.
Only if that's, you're not traveling down the highway.
I mean, so do you think that the maneuver shown in Plans Exhibit 15 constitutes or counts as the traffic violation of failure to maintain lane, or no?
Same
No.
objection. Go ahead.
No,
Why not?
because it's, you're not driving down the highway, you're making a parking maneuver.
If you're going to back a truck across a multi-lane highway, do you think it's more or less dangerous to do that at night?
Objection to form. Go ahead, sir.
Just, I guess it's just as dangerous either way.
Okay. If you're going to back a truck across a multi-lane highway, is it more or less dangerous to do it with a trailer attached?
Objection to form. Go ahead, sir.
Less.
It's less dangerous to do it with a trailer attached?
No, less dangerous to do it without a trailer.
So more dangerous to do it with.
Yeah.
Same objection.
I'll give you a standing objection on the same basis to every question I ask for the rest of the deposition, Mr. Trees, because there's not going to be but a few. And I'm doing this because we're kind of talking over each other, although that's nobody's fault. I know nobody's trying to do it.
No, that works. Thanks.
Let's see. So, Mr. Reed, I will try this again. Is it more or less dangerous to back a truck across a multi-lane highway with a trailer attached to it?
More.
If you're going to back a truck across a multi-lane highway, is it more or less dangerous to do it without a flagger?
More.
If you're going to back a truck across a multi-lane highway, is it more or less dangerous to do it without warning triangles or flares?
More.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
So I do have just a couple, but before I do that, is anybody having a significant feedback problem? Or an echo? Okay, I'm going to step back a little bit just to cut back an echo on my end. So Mr. Reed, I want to ask you just about one or two things. Earlier today, Mr. Butler showed a video of your tractor and trailer backing into your driveway at home. Do you remember
Yes.
watching that video? Okay. And earlier before that, you were asked some questions about how long it normally takes you to back your tractor trailer into your driveway. Do you remember that line of questioning?
Yes.
Okay. Does the video that you were shown earlier showing you backing into your driveway, does that depict about how long it typically takes you for you to execute a backing maneuver once you're lined up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to change topics a little bit now. And Jeb, do you have the ability to put up Plaintiff's 99 for me? If not, I've got a screenshot I may be able to share on my iPad, but I'm not sure. That's the street view.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, I got it.
Thank you.
Okay. Does that work?
Yeah, that's the one I need. Paul, is that up on your monitor as well?
Yes.
Okay. So earlier, Mr. Reed, you got a series of questions about the layout of the roadway and specifically whether or not before Mr. Jordan crested the hill, he could see you or you could see him. You remember those lines of questioning?
Yes.
Okay. Does the view depicted in this photograph, which is marked Plaintiff's 99, does that fairly and accurately depict the layout of the roadway on the date of this collision?
Yes.
Okay. And understanding that the wreck happened at night, okay, on the night of the accident, was there anything on the road that blocked you from seeing the full length of the sightline before you began your maneuver?
No.
Okay. And did you see anything in the roadway that it appeared to you might prevent an oncoming motorist, such as Mr. Jordan, from seeing your tractor trailer? That is, anything that looked like it would get between you and them?
No.
I think that's all that I've got. Jeb, anything else?
That's it. Let me say, no is the answer to the question. This just occurs to me to do, I'm gonna draw the number 99 on Plans Exhibit 99 for record purposes.
Excellent, I appreciate it.
A different color. Well, I would be an annoying perfectionist about this.
If you really want to get perfectionist, we can throw a sticker over it later, but I'm good with the 99.
Yeah, I suppose it's a little weird to be describing this level of drawing talent as perfectionism, so maybe I'm being too generous to myself. But anyway, may the record reflect that Plans Exhibit 99 now says 99 up in the top right corner and is hopefully about to be saved.
And then understanding that it sounds like neither one of us has further questions, Mr. Reed will read and sign.
All right, thanks everybody.
Yep, Jeb.
My order will be for an E-Tran only plus exhibits. I don't need a video at this time, except I will take the regular old Zoom video like they do.
Same order for the defendants, please. And Madam Court Reporter, I'll email you the best information to send a copy to here and to send an invoice to. Jeb, we should set up a call in the next couple of days to talk about the remaining discovery. I think we're both going to have some depots to set up, but honestly, this will probably go better if we can do that Friday. I'm going to be working remote tomorrow.
Okay.
Or sometime early next week is fine too.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Let's find a time on email. I don't know, because I don't know how to answer your question right now. I got to think first.
Sure. No, I'm there with you. That's why I say let's get one on the books and both think about it before then. All right. Anything else for the deposition?
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Mr. Reed,
Take care.
I know you probably hated this process, but if it's any consolation, most of them